Hello, everybody. How are folks doing tonight? Hope everything's okay with you. Good, good. Alright, this is going to be one of our slower streams. This is going to be more blueprints. Uh, Blueprints, of course, we are, I want to say most of the way through. Um, Last time we played. Yeah. Last time we played, we took the final exam from the classrooms, and uh, I don't know that we passed. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I think we missed a bunch of questions. I think we might have failed. Yeah. Now we could have had time to find out last time, but we instead chose, or I instead chose to spend half an hour decoding bits of language, which honestly worth. Um, but I'm eager to get back into the gaming, so let's go ahead and get into it. Evening, those who are just getting in. I imagine that one will be Miss Mori. Exam results. Oh, we got our diploma trophy. Okay. Okay, we got a 75% on color, 83% on math. I can take that. We passed science legitimately with the flying colors. We passed geography falsely with flying colors. Art, okay, I can take a 75. Who cares? History, I can take an 83. Who cares? Algebra, I'm pleased we passed. I think we did pass that. That's one of the ones we did do legitimately. I'm glad to have passed it. Orion, this is the one I'm pleased to have passed. Pleased to have 100%ed. These results look much better than I expected they would. Um, I believe that based on the numbers here, there were 8 questions for each category, and that means we only missed 2 for color, 2 for color and art respectively, and 1 each for math and history respectively. Which again, much better than I thought we did. So we'll count that as a very high mark. Oh, I didn't realize we'd gotten trophy 8 as well. That's nice. Inheritance trophy. Yep. Okay, so we have actually gotten 4 trophies as well. That's nice. Again, kind of surprised we passed. It felt like we flailed a lot more on that test. The shelter doesn't have much more to offer us. I think we take the root cellar. I'm not convinced we've discovered all of this place's secrets. No sign has been found. I think this must just be another hint to the signs puzzle in a new clue. I think that's what my guess is, that no signs were found is about. Because a new clue places such an emphasis on signs, and I'm still not really sure what to do with that emphasis. But that's something that hopefully we can dig into a bit more today. Ooh, conservatory. We will take that for sure. Yeah, burning glass is usually a good get if we can get it. Oh, this is great. We can set this to be super rare and not have to deal with the lavatory. No, yeah, I'm cool with that. Office. It's really effectively one cost because there is a gem to get in there. No, we won't. And that's what outside is for. I'm debating whether to up the rarity of office. I think we've basically done everything we would need to do in there, except it is one of our 2 king rooms, so I should probably keep it around so that we can see king rooms as frequently as we want. Yes. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Castling is going to be important. If we can get a if we can get the horde in the latter half of the run, that would be huge. Could be huge. There's a lot of good things we can try and accomplish here. Oh, boiler room. We'll absolutely take that. There's enough good things that you can make happen with power that I'm comfortable gambling on temporarily not having gems in order to get it well established. For example, we can archives. No gem in here, unfortunately. Can't take either of the other 2, so we're taking this one. Alright, we're gonna sort a dead end on light here. Oh, this is good to see though. We've already seen like 4 red rooms, 4 or 5 red rims, so this is like 5 gems right here. This is great. One of the other 2 boxes is false. You will open this box and find it empty. The blue box is true. So, okay. This is a dumb sentence. One of the other 2 boxes is false. That is very easy to be true. The other blue box is true. It's also very easy to be true, which would make this, you will open this and find it full. Let me actually... get this door. That's a flat. Another thing we want to try to do is make sure that if and when we see the throne room, that we have enough gems for it. Which means we would ideally like to be storing away at least, like maintaining at least a count of at least 5 gems. Storeroom is great for that. Yo, shovel is huge on a root shed run. Shovel is huge. Yeah, we'll be fine on steps. We just have to not like go out of our way to go places we don't need to go. If we can do that and we can prioritize some pink rooms, we should be fine. Broken lever, that can be useful. We do have the workshop, so it's pretty guaranteed to be at least okay. Of course it's the furnace. I can't even be too annoyed because, like, keys are valuable. Ugh, Mage's Chamber is technically a bedroom, but does nothing for us. We're gonna have to gamble here. Really? We're not even gonna go in that room. Not wasting our time. Gambling. Okay, we gotta keep moving somehow. Turnip will do it. And realistically, I should have come down here and dug up some more turnips and such. Yay. Yay. We are also now back on the powered circuit. Ooh, let's take the bedroom closet. I know it's a bit of a gamble, but it's 4 items. That's fine. It wasn't all that important to begin with. At least not for this run. Using the silver key is great here because it means we can find a place like the Cloister of Mila, or I suppose we could do the Mechanarium. How are we looking on utility rooms? That would be number 3. No, 4 because we have boiler room. We are still on fairly unsteady ground in terms of having steps, so taking the Cloister of Mila makes more sense for the moment, I think. Commissary is great. You have a ton of money and just needed a place to spend it. One, two, three. There, that'll do. Yep. This is a red room. We know that because we're getting the furnace color, which tells me that there has to be a red room inside by the furnace. But what I actually want to see is the courtyard. It'll put me up on gems, and it'll give me the opportunity to keep digging for... It puts me up on gems, it gives me the opportunity to keep digging for items, and on top of all that, it also presents me with more ways forward. You might not have noticed, but my third Mila path was blocked off by a whatchamacallit door? A keycard door. And so it's not where we want to be at the moment. Kitchen is fine, but we're not that desperate for steps. We can do security. Because security will also open us up that other door. Trust me, it's fine. We don't need huge amounts of steps until end of round wanderings. Battery. Ugh. I could make the jackhammer now. I don't have anywhere that I would do anything with the jackhammer is the reason not to. I could get the pool. What would I do with the pool? worth. Den is a good one. Den is a real good one. Puts us purely up on gems off it. Let's gamble on this one. Oh, that was a bad gamble. Okay, fine. I don't really need the music room anymore, as we're reasonably confident that I got the music room key. Mount Holly gift shop could be quite good. Okay, pool room is fine. Servants' quarters. Or maids' quarters. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Doesn't really affect our run too much. That's fair. The gift shop is good. Ugh, I hate how low on gems I am. It really came down to I'm low on gems. It really entirely came down to I am low on gems and am trying very hard to keep my options open there. Unfortunately, this is about where we have to end this run, but for... No, this is unfortunately about where we have to end this run. We unfortunately don't have the steps to get down to the reservoir to use our remaining keys. So this is where we're forced to leave it. But that's fine. On to the next run. Wouldn't have changed too much. The real one the one I'm most annoyed at is actually this foyer take. I really would have preferred to get to the foyer. To not get the foyer. Just because of how little I understand it, it's presently a fairly useless room. Well, useless is too strong a word, but like, it rarely provides the value. It rarely provides the value I would want. Here, let me check one more thing. Oh, it occurs to me, we haven't pulled up our notes. Alright. That's one of those things that, like, I have no control over. You know, we don't have notes for what happens if you end day in nursery, but it probably does something. Let's try it. Wait, I went the wrong way. Oh well. Trying the courtyard of Mila seems relevant anyway. You may notice, by the way, that I have added another channel point reward to force me to do a limerick instead of a haiku per request. It's really, it's really entirely just that I'm not opposed. Yeah, okay. I've mostly liked this game so far, despite it having been fairly hard. There's places it drags. And it, it and answers could be a bit more flagged, but overall, uh, 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 heck, I lost it at the end there. I didn't manage to wind it back around. um, I've liked this game so far. It's it's relatively hard. There's points it drags. I'd have liked more flags, but overall, it stuck with me. No, but overall, worth the charge. Charge in this case being like, you know, the money I paid for it. It's one of those weird things that, like, I was having no trouble with, both of those times I had no trouble keeping the rhyme scheme going until I was asked to wrap back around to the first rhyme. At which point I basically had to mentally reset and, like, remember what the rhyme even was. It's not something I think about. No, they're not a kind of poem I think about for sure. Can I get conservatory? Rhyming isn't too bad, like if you're thinking in terms of like couplets. It can be hard. But it's a very, very long way from being necessarily hard. It's only hard if you make it hard. I'm aware. I'm just doing it by going through here. Because this just gets me extra stuff on my way. What? What's the problem? What's so sad about it? What? I'm confused. Did I miss a certain alignment of stars or something? Ah. Okay. Upgrading the spare room is great, because the spare room has not been a super useful plan. Oh, you can make it pink, green, or orange. Ooh. I think I like a higher density of bedrooms. Bedrooms and gardens have been the two places that my upgrades especially have been fairly focused. And just having easier access to them seems like a huge boon. Yeah, let's go ahead and get weight room. Let's get this out of the way. It'll only take us down to 41, which is a totally reasonable number. Ooh, I would rather wait to get the laundry room until I can, like, power it. So we'll take the office. It's effectively only costs 1 and does give us the opportunity to spread some coinage. Because we didn't want yesterday, we can do so today. Vault is powerful, but I don't really need it right now. And I do need the ability to keep progressing through the game. So we're gonna pass up on that in exchange for... oh, what will turn out to just be a dead end a little bit further along. I would still need a queen room. I still need a queen room. For chess puzzle. Let's check. Queen rooms are... okay, study is a queen room. I misremembered that. So yeah, study would be good. Her ladyship's chamber would be good on that front. Cloister of Mila purely for the room space. For the door space. Yeah. Well, we have security, so that's a rook room. We have the observatory, which is a knight room. I guarantee you have at least one pawn room. Or sorry, security is a knight room. Yeah, we don't have a rook room. And we don't have a bishop room. Why did I write bishop as a bishop room? That's not true. Yeah, we don't have a bishop room. We don't have a rook room. Sure. Need to have a magnifying glass when I get in here. I don't think I've ever had this room and a magnifying glass in the same run. Okay, all of our hopes are in this one foundation exit, apparently. There are two false statements. This is the only true statement. The white box is empty. So, if there are two false statements, then that one's not the only true statement. That works fine, and the white box is full. I think you're probably right, but I want to walk through this a little bit longer. There's only one true statement. If there's only one true statement, then that's the only true statement, and the white box is still full. And this one's a fallacy, because there would be two false statements, but including that one, which would make that true, which would be wrong. The correct configuration is that this one is true and these two are false, which means the white box is indeed full anyway. Like, you technically reach the right conclusion following either train of logic. It's just that, like, if you're using the train of logic where that white box was true, then you're gonna find yourself in trouble later. Rotunda. I have 3 keys. I know which of these doors lead to the other rooms. I say as I proceed to unlock the false door. I think Rotunda was a reasonable choice, and it might have been the correct choice. I need to open this one before I run out of keys. This is just us running again into my fear of not having enough gems for the throne room. Like, at present, I live in a genuine bit of fear about coming across that room and not being able to open it like I need. Ugh. That's a nothing. This is a nothing space for me right now. I don't have anything particular to do with it. Uh-oh. No! My desperation to preserve my gems has failed me. Alright, next run. Hold on. Is there anywhere particular... Oh yeah, dig spots in boiler room. We can try those. If there are any? No dig spots in the boiler room. Unfortunate, because there really is usually at least one. In that case, yeah, genuinely, well, poor luck, and also I did blow all my keys on getting the Great Hall and then proceeding to just utterly flub the doors. Yeah, probably. And even if I did stick on that choice, I really should have, like, just been better about knowing which doors are the proper doors on that one. So I had like 2 different opportunities to not flub that, and failed both of them. If you think about it, 3, because I missed on 2 keys. Root cellar. I mean, I don't have particular reason to want either of those other ones right now. We woke up with 5 extra steps and 2 extra gems from sleeping in the master bed. I would like to see... Conservatory? No. No conservatory for me. I'm actually going to take walk-in closet here. The reasoning is, I just didn't want any of those other ones immediately. I am starting to get the habit of trying to save the reading nook until after I've already seen the library. None of that. I really would have preferred a pick that wasn't so awkwardly positioned, but we take what we can get. Ugh. Do I have anything in coat check right now? I think I lost the power hammer last time. Yeah, I have nothing to retrieve. We should aim to store something away there. Yep, there we go, library. Bookshop. Love to see it, love to see it. Okay, we can absolutely get Curse of Blackbridge this run. If we get a little lucky, we can get her History of Arindia. I simply don't value it as much as I value Bookshop. Bookshop is so much harder to come across than the whatchamacallit, because you can only draw it off of the library, which means you're only ever gonna get like one, maybe two opportunities to see it run. And I'm not up to trading away my once a run opportunity. I should probably take Treasure Trove. I know you'll want me to see it. I have gotten the gift shop a couple times. I even purchased a couple things from it. I should probably take Treasure Trove here. I know that it's better if I see it further up, but I don't think it's worth passing either. And this alone, it just also is enough to get us the History of Arindia book. Just entirely of its own. Boxes marked with moon always contain false statements. Black moon. Okay. Blue memory, white boxes, blah da da. True treasure is not in the house. Previous boxes, true statement, true two realms of the same color banner. Yeah. Okay, I have no actual way to judge whether this is true or false, except for the fact that if it were that it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to be true. Were it true, well, it's to put simply, it's in a moon box. So if all moon box statements are always false, then it itself would be false, which would, you know, naturally be a contradiction of terms. So pretty safe assumption that that one is false. Okay, we are going to take a moment here. Purchase history of Arindia. And request that one. That way, if I happen across a reading nook, I can... Yo. No. I can't take the greenhouse. Because if I take the greenhouse, I have nowhere else to go. Ah! I never see this when it would be a good time. That's so unfortunate. Lockpick kit. And yeah, I'll take a special key. Alright, key to the secret garden is totally fine. Feels like there's something lost in the fact that... Oh, this is the Mila place. Oh, the courtyard of Mila. I don't necessarily want it, so we're gonna... Yeah, that's fine. That's kind of just whatever. Like, given how many gems I have, I don't think one extra route out was worth fully 3 gems. And that's basically what I would be purchasing there. No. We don't actually have the stuff for it. We just have the one because we got it from somewhere, somehow. We have just an extra one floating around. Ooh, reading nook would be good if it was facing the other way, as would billiard room. Boiler room is a... Oh, it's wrong way, as is boudoir. Might as well redraw one more time. I really do need to take tunnel at some point, but I need to take it when I have, like, more than 2 spaces that I can do it down. Actually, no. Let's gamble on it. My guess is that I need to be able to chain 3 of this in a row, but, I don't know. I feel confident that tunnel has to do something, but I don't know what. The amount of dig spots in here is a tad absurd, which is kind of great. But I didn't really expect that to actually do anything. But yeah, plenty of good dig spots. I can't really say I regretted that. Like, even if my run inside the house is done here, because I don't have a key card, I can't even say that this is a bad run. Because I'm going to get to open some more boxes. I'm going to get to do the root cellar shovel spots. Which I don't actually think I've done the root cellar shovel spots before. Which is a wild thing to say out loud, but is nonetheless true. It's not the sort of thing you think about. Were we starting with the black ones because we wanted to? Oh, we went for blue. Okay. We did both blue. We have 4 keys this time. Ah, you're good. If I didn't want your input, I would tell you so. I have explicitly told you and Mori that I want your input here. We're just doing... we'll do black, sure. Why not? This one would be the obvious one to just have it. See, I told you this would be a fine run. The only one that could possibly be worth checking left is this white one. But I'm pretty happy with this. As I said, we may not be making the progress that was the speculative amounts of progress. Holding on. Should I go to root cellar first? Because I know root cellar doesn't have a sanctum key. It doesn't line up with any of our hints about where the sanctum keys are. Sure. This is another one that I have no idea which nation this is, even. I could just start guessing, but there's so many combinations that it would be a ridiculous waste of time to do. Yeah, history over India will hopefully have some things to say about all that. Yeah, who cares? It does feel like we're in a fairly good place with our ability to find library again. Okay, we're at the reservoir. There was something you wanted me to do in here? Or to look at in here? Am I looking for anything in particular? Huh, how do I get back there? How do I get at that one? Oh, here. Unfortunately, it is locked, but good to know it's back here. Is there anything else I'm missing? Or is it just that chest? What sort of thing am I looking for? Okay. You mean like the big honkin' rock? Like there's this pole that sticks up. Oh hey, geometry. We found geometry. I assume that's not what we were looking for, but we found it. This could be a door. There could be like a door here. I'm really not sure what I'm looking for. Well, it's possible are you talking about the fact that there's the hole there? Because, like, yeah, but I don't know what to do about that or if it's anything more than just a natural feature. I don't know. Raising the water level isn't going to just let me get at there because the boat doesn't work as best I can remember. So yeah, sure, I guess I can fill the water back up to there. I don't know what it would do, though. When I get the opportunity, I suppose. Da-da-da. Suppose that's the next time I get the pump room sort of question. Alright. Brick. Coin. Sure. Turnip. Sure. Turnip. Sure. Coins. Nothing. Um. Hmm. Wait, hold on a second. Why is this listed as Mary Epson? No, Mary Epson would be her mother's maiden name. Mary Epson would be her mother's maiden name, which she wouldn't be using. And if you'll recall, we spent the end of the last Blueprints night discovering a big deal about, presumably Clara going, I am not Epson, I am not Sinclair, I am not Sinclair, I am not Epson even. Uh, Go and be an Epson elsewhere. Like last of our name type stuff. Unless that was directed to Mary? Hmm. Either way, I don't think there's anything else for us to do here. There's no particularly interesting places for us to rest in the house. We're just going to call it a day here and move on to the next. Um, I don't love how random this game is. It's places. Everything's on an inconsistent basis. Some days will be free and others a spree. But sometimes your runs will be baseless. I'll count that despite the fact that I suppose you could probably argue that, like, basis and baseless, you could probably argue don't rhyme with, that first one I said. Um, oh yeah, to be clear, if you made that argument, I would disagree with you. I'm just pointing out that you could make that argument. Yeah, storeroom gets to stay commonplace. I'll make it standard. Corridor gets to stay commonplace. Passageway gets to stay commonplace. I probably should have taken the bedroom opportunity there. Oh well. I still don't know what the significance of the particular rooms shown here in the security office are. Like, I don't know what the relevance of them is as a group, as a grouping. Even though at this point I've identified basically all of them. That would be appreciated, actually. I just have genuinely no idea what the relevance of them is altogether. Like, there clearly is some kind of connection, else they wouldn't be positioned that way. I just got no idea. Fine. Ah, keycard, that's good. Why did I not take library? I saw library. I recognized library. I guess I just didn't recognize it. Well, okay. I appear to have gotten another opportunity. Okay. Ajera to Araya. Even that subheader is real interesting to get. Orindia was once the name used to designate the realms of the eastern waters. Though the term is no longer employed in the halls of politics nor commonly known to the average citizen, its memory flickers in the hearts of those who hail from the lands that it once encompassed, and many of the elder generations in hushed circles still refer to themselves as Orindians. Yet we must not let the flame of our history dwindle into the obscurity of whispered conversations, nor permit our leaders to enjoin us to abandon the name of our land. We must keep alive the embers of our past and preserve them for generations yet to come. Most historians mark the beginning of the First Era, often denoted as Ayera, by the ascension of the first king of Orindia, whose name Oris would later grace the burgeoning township in which he was crowned. Oris was known before his coronation as a prominent merchant lord of considerable means and affluence, whose sway in the region made him the ideal candidate for the unification of the surrounding provinces. Regrettably, history is not always forthcoming, and the surviving records of those bygone days are mostly limited to trade agreements and sales receipts. Nevertheless, we can deduce from these ledgers that Oris had but one aim: expansion. The territory spread forth from the heart of Oris, and by the end of the first century, the black banners of Orindia could be seen fluttering in every hamlet and hostelry, along every thoroughfare. Uh, from Oris all the way to the western banks, a new kingdom was born. Okay, hold on. Where is my sigil notes? Here's my sigil notes. Orindia black. Castle Orindia, of course. The Second Era. It was the fourth king of Orindia who split this vast domain into three equal shares, three realms for his three children. To the eldest he granted the fields and mountains of his great-grandfather, the middle province and heartspring of the kingdom. The eldest accepted this gift and called his new realm Orinda Aries, after the angelic paragon of royalty, Orinda. See, that is the kind of information that would have been great to know before I took that test. To the youngest he bestowed upon him the realm of Arch Aries, the land of the northern storms. A wild and untamed expanse that at the time was not as developed, but a good deal more vast than the eldest brother's lot. And to his middle child, his only daughter, he gifted her the southern region of Araya, the mystical realm of the ancestors, a land steeped in tradition, magic, and the poetry of the old tongue. As the Second Era drew to a close, the three sovereign kingdoms had achieved a period of remarkable progress and prosperity. Each of these distinct regions, ruled by their respective sibling monarchs, had blossomed, cultivating the bountiful resources of their lands and developing a unique character and culture that set them apart from one another. Despite those differences, the sibling monarchs managed to maintain friendly relations throughout their lives and were known for their cooperation in matters of trade and transportation. The succeeding generations of their heirs continued that tradition, and the Third Era was defined by construction of a vast network of railways that spanned the length and breadth of the land, linking the northern mountains of Arch Aries to the southern shores of Araya. This development facilitated travel and commerce between the three realms, further strengthening their bond and laying the foundation for the promise of a prosperous and bright future, a promise that would unfortunately, as my readers will soon find, not be kept. Okay, hold on. One moment to check. Okay. Arch, Aries, Araya, Mountain, Hourglass. And we can go ahead and take from notes elsewhere that Arch Aries is yellow and Araya is purple. Sorry. As the kingdom of Orinda Aries entered the Fourth Era, a different kind of ruler took the reins of power. King Desolates III was a king who listened to the voices of all his subjects, from the most influential advisors to the humblest of citizens. He was a king who was often seen among the people, eating, drinking, and conversing, a sight that shocked not only the gentry in the court but the masses as well, who could scarce believe that they as peasantry would ever sup with the crown. Desolates was renowned as the king of the people, and it was therefore a surprise to no one when he made the decision to move the capital from the secluded mountains of Reddington to the public stage of Orris, leaving castle and court behind. The people were overjoyed by this choice, and the city welcomed their king with open arms and great fanfare. Yet not all were swayed so easily. There were those that viewed the king's conduct to be unbecoming of his station, and were wary of how readily he could be persuaded by the tears and tales of the common folk. These dissenting voices planted the seeds of discontent, which took root in the lawns and gardens of the nobles of Fen, or as I have been instructed to say, the grand city of Fen. I've not. After the passing of King Desolate III, the Fourth Era came to an abrupt end. Thankfully, the king died naturally in his old age and was surrounded by his people in Orris, far away from the growing unrest among the eastern city of Fen. On the very next day, the 6th of October, the self-proclaimed Prince Learson of Fen declared himself the true monarch. This declaration was bolstered by a surprising number of supporters due to the fact that Desolate IV shared his father's good name but little of his virtues. As the prospect of civil war seemed inevitable, the realm's regiments were hastily recalled from the frontiers to stamp out and put an end to the insurrection. However, instead of restoring order, what ensued was a savage and merciless campaign against their own people. The gardens of Fen, once a center of splendor, were transformed into a battlefield as the cries of the innocents echoed through the city streets, stained in red. And this is why Fen Ares is red. The brutality of the pacification of Fen did not go unnoticed by neighbors. As sympathy for the city surged, allies came forward to lend support. Among them was the general of the Northern Regiment who, sickened by the barbaric actions of the other battalions, joined forces with Prince Learson to form a formidable army. Together they leveraged their political influence and favors to persuade the nearby realms of Arch Ares and Nuance to join their cause. However, even with the tide turning in their favor, victory did not come easy. The War of the Fifth Era lasted 22 long years and saw buried one in every 3 men. Prince Learson himself was added another number to the casualties. However, even in death he had won. Horus had fallen, and with it the realm. The black flags that had flown for 5 eras were burned, and in their place red banners were hoisted in honor of the fallen of Fen. The few remaining members of the former royal family fled in fear of their lives to the south, forever exiled. Today, the realms inherited by the three, Fen Ares, Arch Ares, and Araya, once again stand united as allies. Though the distance between our peoples has grown, our connection to this land remains as strong as ever. The spruce and birch that span across our realm serves as a constant reminder that we all share a common past. And as those trees continue to grow, so too do our hopes for a common future. A future where we are not defined by the color of the banners we raise, but by that which connects us, a land that we all call home. For this is, despite everything else, a land rich in history, a land of myth and wonder, a land that has sprung forth the greatest empire the world has ever seen, the land of our fathers, of our mothers, and of our children. This land is, after all that has happened, still Orindia. So Orindia may be our hidden eighth kingdom. That is why would be why it is so hard to find. If that is, let me actually confirm that. Like I don't just have 8 realms on the map here. 4, 3, yeah. Orindia is our eighth kingdom. Um, I have all of them except for the Black Bridge book. Okay. Let's take a moment here, and I think we can do a bit more with our Arch Ares, get a bit more out of Arch Ares in Araya. Um, yeah, I had a choice between picking this up, and picking up the Blackbridge book, and I chose this one. You weren't paying enough attention to tell me no. Da da da. Korarica is the heart. I think we established Korarica as green, didn't we? Because it was that's what the color it was in the test in the finals. It's all good. I cannot fault you for playing a game. Um, Arch, Ares, and Araya. I would guess. Um, I don't have a good guess on whether it is how the travel is organized for Arch or Arch, Ares, or Araya. I would guess Arch Ares is stormy based on the wild and untamed sort of vibe that it's supposed to have going on. Araya, no clue. Um, hmm. None of our moats options stick great with the way our Arch Ares or Araya are described here. And of course, we've already talked about colors. Unfortunately, I think that's where we're at. Oh, do I not have... Sorry, I didn't realize that my note source wasn't visible. There, that's better. You could... I would be hesitant to, though. And also, peaceful and poor doesn't necessarily say anything about the, like... It doesn't actually meet any of what those are for the descriptors wise. Great, now we've gotten Curse of Blackbridge. I think we can now confidently say that we've gotten all of them. Or at least all the ones that matter. Before we get too much further here, I am going to take a step back and go up through the other side, security. I don't want to miss anything relevant here. Okay. Not quite what I was hoping for, but it will do. Billiard room is good, gives me the opportunity to get stuff. In exchange for puzzling, 3 squared should be 9. 2 squared, 4 plus 1. times 20? No. 15 one way or the other? No. Oh, I've just pressed the button. I didn't even think about it. Nine? 20 minus 9, maybe? See, the problem is that as much as, like, I can understand how the math system of this works when it's written out, um, understanding how it's supposed to work as laid out on this sheet is a whole other thing. As laid out on this billiard thing is a whole other thing. Because I can go, okay, 2 squared is 4, plus 1. Or am I supposed to say, like it's 2 squared plus 1 minus 20, right? Surely that's what it is. Or maybe it's 2 plus 1 squared minus 20. But in that case, it would be negative numbers, and I can't do negative numbers on this. I guess you could. So 2 plus 1 would be 3. Minus 20 is negative 17. But then you have to square negative 17? That doesn't make much sense to me. Like, if you do 2 squared, so 4, plus 1, minus 15. Let's assume it is equivalent to just 15. That doesn't work. If you do it 2 plus 1 squared, so 9, minus 20 is negative 11, or if you do, 20 minus 9, it's 11. That's not correct either. I'm confused by this one. Because yellow is definitely supposed to be minus. Like, do you go... Ugh, math. So we have a 2, 2 plus 1 minus 20, and at some point you square it. Help? What's going on here? Why is this question this way? Like, I can get behind color coding your numbers for math. It's honestly a fairly clever system. Presuming you ignored, like, the possibility of color blindness. But, what? Could it be just like 17? No. Sure, 25 minus 20 would be 5, which is apparently the answer they were looking for? Why? I'm so confused. Okay, 2 squared is 4. Times 1 is 4. Plus 2 is 6. No, because then you'd go minus 10 minus 20, and that doesn't make sense. So you have to be 2, like, yeah, like 2 squared, so 4, plus 2, so 6. 6 squared is 36. I don't know what the random times 1 is doing in here. And then minus 30 is 6. Okay, I guess you just, when you have this, you just square every time you see that color. Okay. I love 10 minus 10 squared. Tell me that's not what's happening here. What is this? What is happening here? Why is this like this? Why is this like this? Oh. No, the problem is, what the heck is the order of operations here? Well, but if it's 10 minus 10 squared, then it's 0 squared. Oh, which 0 squared would be 1. No! 0 squared would never. It would be 0 times 4, which would be 0 minus 2. Where are you getting this, Maury? Why would the answer be 4? Negative 2 squared? Okay, so you do it like regular PEMDAS, 10 minus 10, and then minus 2, 2 squared. But then you do times 4, and that should turn into 16. Which is wrong. Ugh. Right. Ah. Okay, so what you're suggesting, Tori, is we go 10 minus 10. So 0 squared. 0 times 4, 0. Minus 2. Negative 2 squared. 4. That's so dumb. That is so genuinely dumb. No, not skill issue. I blame that on the game. I'm fully willing to blame that on the game. I have not at fault for game being dumb. No. I refuse that L. I refuse that L. I do not accept it. That clock is marked for... Oh, that's just a regular clock. I have no issues with secret garden keying here. I have no reason to, like, be against that. I really don't need that whole cutscene every time. Can I just do it? I don't even necessarily know why I need to do this. I've never actually gotten to use the crown's power. So clearly I don't consider that power particularly useful. Okay, shovel. I honestly didn't realize that could spawn in here. Key. That's good to have. Key! That's doubly good to have. Only in the most technical sense. Oh my dear, this is bad. Well, I got a second gym in the lineup for a reason. I really need like a turnip. Yo! Are we good at this game or what? Oh, an actually genuinely potentially viable greenhouse pole. Hold on, what do I have inventory? Oh, jeez. I have the sledge, but not the power hammer. And you need the power hammer in order to break through the greenhouse wall. But I really just need the battery in order to make power hammer. And I think I do have trading posts this run. And I have a key so I can continue progressing. I'm talking myself into this. Metal detector. It's great. We love metal detector. Brick. Oh, we got the metal detector instead of the watering can. Okay. Don't love where our steps are at. We kind of need to get... Fudge. We're screwed. Just a little bit. We can't quite make it to the secret guardian is the problem. Like we can get this costs 3, 4, 5, 6, and we will fall unconscious in the garden. Um let's just take our nap in the boudoir. See what happens. Banana happens. Does that change the math? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we don't fall asleep in the secret garden. We just can't progress out of it. I'll take that. Oh no, come on now. That's so rude. That's so rude. We're gonna find out. No, I can't even click on it. I can't click on it. You can't click on it if you have no steps. Rough. We died one step away from salvation. Ugh. And another greenhouse run that we didn't get to take advantage of. That's annoying. Actually, what am I doing starting another day? It is about time for us to end for the night. We do not actually have time for another run here. Oh, I can't end without calling it a day. Okay, sure. We don't have any ongoing effects that matter there. Yeah, we didn't. Well, we got a sanctum key, and we bought 2 books. So that will count that as accomplishing things tonight. Uh, we didn't accomplish nearly as much as we might have hoped. Um, I think we need to target down hard finding the answers for the sigils on the other locations and finding these last three red letters. As a reminder, those are our goals for the game. Once we accomplish those, we will be calling it complete, and we'll be moving on to something else for our Wednesday stream. I am hopeful we are close. Hi, how are you doing? Thank you for the follow. I love and despise that that is as close as we can get to, as y'all are comfortable providing me for. Oh yeah, we're close to done. I bet we unfortunately, have a significantly longer way to go ahead of us. But we're hope with a bit of luck, we'll be able to make it happen in the next few streams. Uh, Regardless, thank you all so much to everybody who showed up for who was here tonight. If you're not already, we definitely appreciate a follow, and if you'd like to join us in the Discord for the most accurate notifications on what we're going to be doing and when, um, the Discord is both pinned in the chat and linked in our channel description. Um, so we will, of course, be back on Sunday at 8 p.m. for Chant of Sennar, which has been a very fun language-based puzzle game. We've been doing that with my good friend Bob's, and we had a lot of fun with that last time. I sort of suspect that we will beat that game either this next on Sunday or next time we play it. After that, but that's something we're gonna have to wait and see. In the meantime, and of course, we'll be on Monday. We'll be back and we'll be continuing with our Alien Isolation run. That one we are for sure approaching the end of. Once again, maybe three, uh, maybe three more sessions of that, and we'll be complete on that game, I think. In the meantime, thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. I will look forward to seeing you guys next time, and I hope you all have a good week. Bye bye!